Yay!
Yay.
This was
Boom.
fun. Thank
This
you.
was fun. I'm like, skip these questions. Shoot. This was just hearing your heart and hearing what you have and what you're sharing with the world is just amazing. You know, it's I love how self-aware you are. I
Mm,
love how aware you are of the audience. I love how you read the room, you
mm.
know, and just even when you know when you have that perspective of not hurting people, that got me. That got my attention. And I'm like, we need more people like you know, in these spaces.
Yeah.
And so
And
I'm
I'll concur with that. So,
mm,
again, from this very humble place,
mm,
thank you so much. I really appreciate that you have seen that in me.
mm,
And I do want to replicate myself. That is part of my mission is how can I get not just what I know and what I do, but who I am,
mm,
to inspire other people to be who they can be, so
right.
that we do have that ripple effect.
Right.
And so that's very important to me. And I'll just share this too, because I'm a big fan of anytime you have an experience with someone that you share the
Mm.
impact that the experience has had on you. So not just
Mm.
what you've learned and not what you're going to do about it. Those are important.
Mm.
But for me, I think the impact, I wrote down a couple things that I actually want to explain a little bit more. So I'll probably do a little podcast episode of myself. I've done some on the process and journey before.
Mm.
I actually was in a former life, I was a preschool teacher.
Oh,
And so
cool.
we talked a lot about process art versus product art, right? What you actually, the product is the final result. So like getting everybody's art to look the same. We don't
Right.
do that. We want the process art, like the really messy, chaotic, like, oh my gosh, tell me more
Yeah.
about it, right?
Yeah.
And so we've talked a lot about that, but I want to compare that to the idea of creating an experience with memories. So really kind of
Mm.
flesh that out just a little bit more, especially for my one membership group, that are Scrappy Business
Mm.
Builders. That's just the group that we work on, where we talk about your personal development, your message, your
Mm.
audience, and how to make money. I specifically want to use this as a lesson for them and how to
Mm.
create experiences that create memories that also
Mm.
bring you money in the process.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
thank you,
ooh.
because without this conversation, I wouldn't have that.
Wow, that's good. Can I add something to that if that's okay?
Sure.
It
Yeah.
may resonate with you, may not, but this resonates with me what you just mentioned. And so two of my boys, my oldest boys, 21 and 19, they're both in the autism spectrum.
Mm,
So that was very painful when we found out when they were young, because the doctor
mm,
was like, they will never be able to say I love you. A
right.
lot of things they won't be able to do. Now they're saying it. Now this my boy chasing someone in Canada.
That's right.
Gonna get
That's
married,
right.
you know. So they were wrong. But but what we learned throughout their lives was enjoying the process. The
Yeah.
little burps, the little subtle things that were just like people might be like, "What's that?" But it's just we laughed at it. We not to make fun of, but we just chuckled because wow, look at his experience. Look at Tommy's experience.
Yes.
Look at what he's doing. Look at how he reacts. We
Yes.
observed all of that and we saw the process. And to some people, it might be messy and they may not know how to deal with it. But for us, it taught us empathy, but it also helped us to enjoy life and enjoy each other and like each
Yes.
other. So, I just want to share that.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
it made me think of what a beautiful gift you got to not be normal.
Woo.
Like a lot of times, and I've been in that position helping
Yeah.
families, to understand this is what's happening, right? But
Right.
in early childhood, we take a developmental approach. So it's not like, okay, you're this age, you should be doing this. It's like, okay, this is just the next step. This is the next
Right.
step. This is so what if you're 2 or 5? Like this is just the next step of where we're going. We know
Yeah.
we're developing in a certain way. But when you take out that label of normal and the expectation to be normal, you
Yeah.
now can allow that child to develop however they're supposed to develop. And
Wow.
so kudos to
Woo.
you for really taking that on and just enjoying
Mm.
that experience. And
Wow.
what a gift it would be for everybody to experience not normal.
That's powerful. That is powerful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You just gave me some insight as a
So I
performer
just want
too.
to highlight here, step back and debrief here what we just said. Okay, so
Mm.
you had said, hey, thank you for doing this podcast. I said, hey, this is, the impact on me. It
Mm.
created something in you with this story about your children, made me come to that, beautiful idea, right?
Mhm.
So I just, listeners, do you get that? So
Right.
when we're talking about doing business, we're talking about being a brand, we're talking about membership groups, whatever it is, this is what we're talking about. That when you have
Yes.
real, true, genuine connections with people, you're not worried about what you should say and how you should say it and what's normal and
Mhm.
what's not. You don't care about any of that. You're just like, let me show up. Let's see what magic can happen.
Mhm.
Magic happens.
Yes. So just to let you know, that was after the end of the podcast, but we're gonna put that in there. We're gonna put this in there.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.